Why do you hate me, Georgie?
I do not. I just like to make fun of you.
Oh, that's so much better.
It brings me joy. Yeah.
That's great. I'm so glad.
It's where Gen X and millennials meet,
Talking about things that are kind of neat.
Sincerely, Elaine and Georgie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sincerely, Elaine and Georgie, the podcast.
Hello.
I'm Elaine, and this is
Georgie.
And today, Georgie, we're going to talk all about nostalgia.
Yeah, we felt like the last couple episodes were heavy, so we're like, let's lighten it up. Let's brighten it up. Let's add some
funsies.
Exactly, some sparkles.
Funsy sprinkles.
Yeah. And a huge part of my childhood was music.
Oh.
Was it for you?
It was. Only.
What do you mean? Oh, that's right.
There's an asterisk to that. Those that don't know, I grew up in a very Christian home, and my exposure to music, especially my very young years, was very limited to just Christian
Yeah. Up
music.
until what age would you say?
Probably easily until I was like 14 or 15.
Okay,
even
wow.
16.
Yeah,
It was, and even then, it was very like, that's not good music, and no, we don't want that in the home, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say my parents, lightened up when I got into my mid-teens.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a little bit of exception to that, because there'd be these little exceptions, like New Kids on the Block. Okay, that's 1990, so I'm talking like 13. That was okay.
Yeah.
Why were they deemed wholesome?
Isn't that funny?
I
have so many friends, like I have actually a lot of friends who weren't allowed to listen to certain music, but they were allowed to listen to other, like kind of exactly what you said, right? Where they, for example, in my time, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, like all the boy bands were huge, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I loved them all. But they wouldn't be allowed to listen to like the girl groups, like Spice Girls and Britney Spears, and like. But you listen to the boys' lyrics, and they're sexual too.
I know, but it's
called sexism.
Yes, it is.
But
now I'm mad. Why did you say
I know.
so mad?
Don't know.
Now I'm mad.
I feel like it's just, I don't know. At that time, I feel like those parents, like the boomer generation and stuff, just doing the best they can. Like, and everyone has grown now, or not everyone, but like we've learned, and people know now that it's a double edged. That was like a double.
Well, it's
standard.
It's
hypocrisy.
That's what I can get out of my mouth. It's a
hippopotamus.
It's a hippopotamus. Right,
we like hippopotami here.
So,
but yeah, so it was. So you're not the only. Yeah, you're not alone. That's for sure.
Well, you mentioned boy bands. Like, what was your like favorite? Okay, younger years and then like later teens. Like, maybe, so like, what?
So like, do we start as young as when I listened to Raffi and like Baby Beluga? Because that was my jam.
Apples and bananas.
Exactly.
Well, I know it's because I was a babysitter. I was babysitting you guys.
Yep, 100% you were, because Baby Beluga was my jam. Baby Beluga. You don't know Baby Beluga?
I know Raffi, but I don't know Baby Beluga.
Is the water warm? Is your mama home? You don't know?
No. Was the water warm?
I don't know. I don't remember the rest of the song.
We'll never know.
So I'll never know Baby Beluga was warm and if his mom was home. But
he's abandoned in cold water by his mother.
It's probably a song about like global warming and like the ice caps melting and stuff.
Isn't that the truth? You go back and listen to stuff as a kid, there's all these other messages that were way over your head, and now you're like, oh my gosh.
And you're like, what? Or even the boy band ones. Like, at the time, I had no idea. It's funny because, parents would try to, like, be like, no, like, shield your ears. But I didn't know what the hell they were saying. And then I go back and I listen to songs I listened to then, and I'm like, there's a song by NSYNC called Digital Get Down. It's literally about, like, phone sex. And I had no idea. Like, until I was, like, in my 20s and I listened to the album again for fun and realized, and I was like, oh? So, like, oh my God. Like,
well, I get that a little bit with teaching. Sometimes parents are like, oh, this is a great song. I want them to sing that for recital. I'm like, you do realize they're singing about drugs, alcohol.
Right.
And like, no. And they're like, no, I didn't realize. Like, go back and listen to the lyrics, and sure enough, they'll come out the next week and go, I had no idea that's what that song was about.
It's crazy. Because I feel like parents, like, as they're driving, at least, like, I don't know, I feel like my parents, like, as they're driving, like, we're just like listening to the music or not listening at all, right?
Yeah, because just quasi. You're
just like, fine, I'll let my. Because also I had to control the radio in my car. Nobody could tell me different. Like, I would be a monster if you didn't. I know.
Doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I was like, no, I am the master of this radio. Like, I changed the stations. I played and back then we didn't. That was the worst part too, was that we didn't even have like iPods, or the auxiliary cord wasn't even out yet, right? Where you could like hook up an iPod.
I'm like laughing at you right
I know. So I literally radio and hope a good song came on.
Oh my god. Oh, it's the end of the world.
I couldn't just listen to Taylor Swift 100 hours a day. Like, it was a horrible life to live.
Have you ever tuned a radio in a car?
I mean, yeah, I've like looked for my stations. Yeah. But I just don't like the commercials.
Nobody does.
Exactly. I don't like commercials on the radio, but we will get to the commercials on the TV because I did like those. But yeah, no. For me, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, Britney Spears. Oh my gosh, those were like quintessential for me growing up. I loved them. Who did you have?
Well, kid years was a lot of PBS.
Oh yeah.
So like now I need to look.
Now
it up.
blanks.
I can't think of it. No, it was the Electric Company. Right.
Don't know.
Yeah, these are all, and they were like the beginning of like kids shows with music. Like they were like kids that were gonna be pop stars, and they joined.
Oh, like Mickey Mouse Club, but the PBS version.
Yeah, a little. That's a very good comparison.
Okay.
So like Electric Company, and then there was another one too. I can't remember. That's fine. Doesn't matter. But it was a lot of that, and then those who did grow up Christian, there was Salty the Songbook.
Salty the Psalm. Oh, Psalmbook. Okay, got it.
It was this cartoon.
Why was his name Salty?
I don't really know. That's my question.
I have questions.
He's a jilted psalmist. I just had this visual. I know Christians that they're gonna like crucify me over this. I just had this visual. I've been like singing all the Christian kid songs, and then behind stage he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. 100%. Making money. Just
he's like, oh god.
Yep.
Praise Jesus. No, but I don't mean to. I don't want to make fun because I really did love his programs, and it was a record, and I put the record on, and it was this whole like story time kid stuff, but it was all these kid songs.
Yeah.
And it was and that kind of stuff. So I grew up listening to a lot of that. And then of course, later years, getting to like my tweens, it was New Kids on the Block, and then it was like, you know. Like, my brothers used to listen to these old Christian bands like Petra. There's a couple like Striper. So you guys
why'd they sound so, like, so emo and, like,
because they're trying real hard. It's Christian rock, man. We're so cool.
Oh, you did say that they were Christian rock. I'm like, why do these names sound so rock and roll? And you literally said they were Christian rock. That makes sense.
You pay so close attention.
I such close. That's called ADHD.
So any Christians listening to the program are gonna be like, I remember that song, or I remember this, or you know. But listen, and then as my parents softened, and also talking college years, now you're talking like mid '90s. It was like
college years in the mid '90s, huh?
Shut up! Right now, shut up. I went to college in '95. That was my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt that eye roll. It was like the wind just picked up in the office all of a sudden. So, but it was like Christian bands, so like Jars of Clay. And
I feel like they made it like a little bit more into mainstream because I did hear about them. And there's I think, were they Christian? Red Jumpsuit Apparatus? Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's not. They also sang a song about like, well, no, they were like defending her. Anyway, it was like about like abuse. Anyhow,
Skillet had a song that was about abuse and stuff like that too. I mean, they were trying to talk on these. They were trying to sing these songs about these hot topics of the day. Yeah. And to like. Yeah. Anyways, let me rewind a little bit because I did also listen to Debbie Gibson and Tiffany. Yes, I did a lip sync. It was my side ponytail and my hot pink sweatshirt with a girl with
like
a side ponytail. I'm gonna have to find that picture and have to post it. It's
please
so good.
do. Please find that.
Yeah, no, karaoke didn't exist yet, honey. So
really?
Not really. I mean, nobody did karaoke when I was growing up. Not until like high school.
Wow.
But I'm talking like 13. I'm like 12, 13. With my side pony.
With my gosh, stop.
Side pony girl in my shirt that I ironed on myself. It was these iron on like things that my mom bought. And it was a white sweatshirt and I ironed it on. With my old fashioned name was pedal pushers, but they were like the cut off in the calf. What do they call them now?
I don't know. Sure.
Like capri pants.
I don't like that.
With my gels. My jellies.
I had jellies too. I loved my jellies. Those are coming back.
I know they are.
And I want them so bad.
They come in and go out every so often. But I did lifting with my red radio, taped cassette, radio boombox.
Filmed? You recorded this?
No, nobody had phones with cameras.
No, not phones, but like a videotape.
You know what we had back then? It was if you had money, and wealthy, you had a VHS recorder.
Yeah,
other than that,
yeah,
or like one of those yeah.
So this only lives in the memory of
and some
those
pictures.
that attended.
And some pictures.
Okay, good. I need those pictures.
And it was the I Get Lost. No, that's a Gibson. No, it was I Think We're Alone.
Yes, I was like, that's what I know.
Meeting on my heart is the only sound. And I was crossing my singers. But I sang that, and I had a table with flowers.
Yes,
and
you made it a whole.
I won that lip sync.
Yes. It was a contest.
It was a contest. It was a school talent.
Oh my gosh, amazing!
And I won it with a lip sync.
Yes, ma'am.
How sad is that? I'm actually a singer.
I know. You won the lip sync
because I was so connected.
You're a drag queen at heart. That's what it is.
Anyways. But I will find that picture. We'll have to post it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
I'm so excited to see that.
It's so good.
I would be remiss though, now that you mentioned Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and those, I would be remiss because to not mention, I know I already mentioned her, but Taylor Swift, because I didn't really go into my teen years, but my teen years, she came out when I was 16, and she's obviously massive, extra massive right now. She was already massive when she came out too. But I've just been word vomiting about Taylor Swift for the last 7 months, everybody else. So I just want to say her name over and over again. So Taylor Swift. So I just want to say that in public, out loud, on a microphone, and then maybe I'll meet her one day and we can be best friends and bake cookies and pet cats, and it'd be so fun. In those fake interviews, if you've been listening, you know that I like to fake interview myself and put myself on talk shows and make myself So I have definitely had talk shows where I've talked about how I have met Taylor and how we're best friends and stuff. So,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
What do they call it? You put it out there in the universe.
Manifestation.
Manifestation.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
One day.
One day. And just you wait, world. Just you wait.
I have some more other little things to
talk
about music.
Please.
Because I grew up in such a theater family.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was very interesting how my parents had no problem that I was listening to Les Miserables.
Stop!
And the opera soundtracks were talking about prostitution and sex is horrible.
They're
subject.
but not.
But
whatever,
but
I don't know.
Pop music.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Not whoever was pop. I can't remember who was pop when I was younger, super younger. But I just thought that was quite funny. I love you, Mom and Dad. I know Dad's passed. I love you, but it's still, I'm just you really needed to listen to the lyrics of those musicals because it was.
What era was? I don't know if this. What era was Barry Manilow?
It's a little before me.
Before?
My sister-in-law, huge Barry Manilow.
I was gonna say because Slow Boat to China is a bop.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
She was. He wrote the theme song to the Band-Aids.
What the heck is the Band-Aids?
He's actually very.
Is it a show?
Prolific. No, it's a commercial.
For Band-Aids.
Yeah, for
I
Band-Aids.
guess. Well, you said to the Band-Aids, it's a band or a TV show.
But he sang the stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stuck on you.
Oh.
He was a huge jingle writer. He's written a lot. You talk about commercials.
Okay.
He's written a lot of jingles.
That is the perfect segue. Yeah, unless you're done with.
I'm done.
Okay, because that's the perfect segue. Because one of the things I have on my list for TV shows and movies is how much I miss commercials and jingles.
That's true.
I miss them so much. You saying that, and I was oh yeah, or the Goldfish theme song, which was a whole minute long, here's the jingle for Goldfish, our baked but not fried goldfish, the healthy snack that smiles back until you bite their heads off. They're made with real cheese. Why are they so long? I don't know, but I love them. I didn't even finish it. That's how long it is.
That was a huge business.
I right?
I'm trying to think of the Folger song. It popped in my head and then popped right back out.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
We need all money from all these companies.
They're so good. And there were a bunch of toys and stuff that had sock 'em boppers, more fun than a pillow fight. And they were so throw 'em up, or no, blow 'em up, put your hands inside, get ready to have the time of your life. So it made you want the toy or whatever it was selling.
Well, that was the point.
So exactly.
That was the point. I mean, music is so emotionally triggering for good and bad.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's what it was made for, is meant to draw you in.
So good. Well, they did their job because I wanted everything.
It's do we hear jingles anymore?
That's what I'm saying. I feel the attention's media has gotten so when you think about TikTok and stuff like that, right? Like I feel like there's just not the attention span for a solid jingle anymore.
I guess that's true. It's not your 30 seconds. That's it.
Right. Because the commercials used to be like a minute, like literally a minute long. And I can't imagine watching a minute long commercial anymore.
It's true.
I'm not going to lie. Like I would probably not listen to those jingles today either. But I do love the old ones.
It speaks so much to society.
I know. It's crazy. The attention span has just...
It's very true. And then tying into that TV shows, because we're talking about TV, so like also the sitcom songs.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they'll stick with us forever. Like you're seeing one little bit of it and it's like, oh, I remember that show.
Yep.
You know?
And nowadays they just have like the ding ding ding. It's like 3 little notes with like the title slide or what title slide? What it's not a PowerPoint, but you know what I mean? Like you know,
it's just quick. And if you're binge watching shows, they'll do an intro with some music. Yes. Very rarely has lyrics. It's only just music with like images, and then it's always a skip button.
I was gonna say
nobody watches it.
Skip intro every single time. I couldn't even tell you like what the I'm not. It's so funny but I feel like way back when that was like part of the experience, right? Like when you were like watching like Full House or whatever, like singing that song or like Step by Step, because those were TV shows that I liked a lot when I was younger. Like you love singing those songs. I don't know. Like I loved singing along with them. So it's so interesting to think about how now it's just like, no thanks. I don't even give them a chance anymore. Yeah. It's crazy.
We don't. Which shows we watch a lot of Growing Pains, Family Ties.
Yes, I did like those.
What's the show with Tootie and Natalie?
The Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Facts of Life. Da da da. Can't think of the words because I don't know. The Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
But yeah, those kind of shows. And then we watch. I watch a lot of PBS. So like, who remembers the Bloodhound Gang?
No.
The Bloodhound Gang.
Is that on PBS?
Yeah, it's a PBS show.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. It's a bunch of kid detectives. What's not fun about that?
Yeah, like Nancy Drew style. There was a show. I don't know if it was on PBS or where it was, but it wasn't on one of the major networks that I remember. It's called Ghostwriter. Writer, like if you know. Yeah. And it was like these kids that talked to some entity on a computer. Oh. And it was like way back in the 90s when it was like still like the computer with like the greens, like the screen was kind of green. Yeah, right? And you type, I don't know, and it's like green. And all you could do was just like type. And I remember pretending, like I would play pretend and pretend I was doing Ghostwriter, like pretend I was talking to like an entity on the, and it was like it was kind of like a detective show or like a go do this, like it would send them on missions kind of thing. And I loved that show. But I also did like, have you ever heard of like the cartoon Franklin? He's a turtle.
I have heard of it, again, because of my babysitting.
Yeah, because it has another good jingle. Hey, it's Franklin.
I never heard that.
Come in to play. It's so good. It's so good. So I did like a lot of those. What else?
Favorite cartoon?
Ooh, see, Rugrats for sure.
Ding 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 ding
ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding.
Yeah, just babysitting. I just face bashed my microphone.
She just face palmed into her microphone. She was but I'm sorry. I feel like your babysitting exposed you to some quality content that you would not have otherwise been exposed to.
I may or may not have continued watching the shows after the kids went to sleep.
Thank you. Exactly. Like I may or may not have watched Blue's Clues well into like 4th or 5th grade. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
So funny.
What about you?
Things changed a lot. Well, a lot was Jim Henson.
The
Muppets. So you're talking about the Muppets.
Fraggle
Rock. Down to Fraggle Rock.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot. Growing up with puppets. Movies like Dark Crystal, all the Jim Henson stuff.
Yeah.
Again, filled with magic and mystery, but yet my parents are okay with that.
I know. It's so, what the heck? It's so funny.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I swear.
You're like, I just live under this roof. Like,
it's just, I don't know. I wish I knew their checklist of what made acceptable, what wasn't. Right. Like, what was okay, what wasn't.
Well, I bet you too. Like when they saw that, they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of little silly looking puppets. I can't.
And that's just there was the assumption.
It's a perception, right?
Oh, it's Jim Henson. It's Muppets.
Right.
It's Sesame Street. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So funny.
Oh my gosh. You also mentioned earlier Never Ending Story.
Yeah. Never ending story.
And she was like, you're why do you know that?
I was like, how do you know that? You're not supposed to know that.
I do feel like it's a classic and like most people do know it, but I will confess that I have never seen it. And I feel like a fraud Just because I feel like everyone I know has seen it. But I've never really been classic. Yeah, I think that's why. But I've just like never been like massive like into like fantasy. Yeah. Like that.
You have to be. Right. Like, that's what that is.
Yeah. And I would probably watch it once, like, just to say I have. Yeah. Like, I'm ashamed to say that the only reason I know that song is because of Stranger Things. Because Dustin sings it on Stranger Things with his girlfriend over the phone to save the world. Like,
I need to watch Stranger Things. That's something I need to watch.
You haven't watched it?
I've not watched it. I know.
Stop. Okay, you want to talk about nostalgia? The show itself obviously came out now, but it is literally set in the 80s. So like,
I know. It's filled with nostalgia.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. You have to watch it.
I will.
Especially if you love that kind of stuff. Like, you know.
I watched the first episode. There was a jump scare in it, and then
you stopped.
I was like, eh.
Yeah. Well, then definitely don't watch season 4 because it gets real. Like, I actually stopped watching it because I was like, I'm over it. And then my friends were like, season 4 is so scary. Like, you will love it, and I do love like scary and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll watch all of it just to get to season 4, and it is so much darker than the other seasons. So maybe don't watch it. Yeah.
No, I don't mind dark stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't like manipulative scare tactics in movies. I get a little like
the cheap jump scares.
I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Like that's all you got? That's her excuse, but really she's just like, I'm scared. No.
Maybe a little sometimes. Stuff with aliens makes me very scared.
I know we already talked about aliens. Like, don't get me started
but I think it makes me scared because it's possible.
It's real. Yes.
That's the thing that makes me scared. You have to save that for another show.
Yes, exactly.
We can't talk about it.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So, any other what other shows as a little kid?
Well, I'll tell you my favorite show. To this day, it's still my favorite show, and it came out. I watched it. I don't know, from when I was like probably like 8, just like watching reruns. Like I didn't watch them like when they would come out. But Boy Meets World is my absolute favorite TV show of all time. It is probably one of the only shows like it that legitimately makes me laugh out loud.
Really?
Like, and I don't laugh out loud a lot. There are very few shows that do that. And Boy Meets World is like one of maybe 2 or 3.
That show was epic.
It was so good. It's so good.
It was after my time. Like wasn't.
Did you watch it?
No.
Never.
Dang. No, I mean I know it.
Yeah.
But it never like hooked me because I was older.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But so what shows?
I was gonna say, what shows did you watch? Were you also like stuck in like? Did your parents have like parameters around?
Oh, absolutely.
What you watched as well?
Yeah. I mean, we watched a lot of Disney, of course, because that's when Disney
like
Channel,
Disney movies. Oh, Disney Channel.
Disney Channel had just started when I was like 10 or 11, and the early Disney Channel was they would just play a lot of the old Disney movies.
Yeah.
And they were just starting to come out. They came out with a brand new
show,
Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh
that had like. What's his name?
Ryan Gosling and Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears.
Yeah. So like I watched that.
Yeah.
And when it very first came out, but it was like this rehashing of Disney. Also, that Disney really kind of reinvented themselves when I was like as a kid too. That's when Little Mermaid came out and Little Mermaid. Yeah. Well, they would like Little Mermaid was supposed to be it was their first like Disney princess movie in like decades or since Cinderella and Snow White and all those had come out.
Yeah.
So it was big. It was huge, and then of course it just snowballed from there with like Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and all this. So all that stuff started coming out when I was in, and then Pocahontas when I was all through like high school. Yeah. Like middle school, high schools when all those movies were coming out.
Yeah.
So, and they were huge.
Oh my gosh. I remember
Lion King was like.
Lion King is so good. Which is your favorite of that like era of Disney?
I think I liked Beauty and the Beast because I loved the music, but I disliked the whole like Stockholm like love story. Like fall in love with your captor. That's a great message for people.
Oh my gosh.
But I loved Belle's independence. I loved that she was intelligent. I loved that she made her own decisions. You know, that kind of thing, and that she was brave. Like I liked her.
That whole era of Disney is just so good. That's so true. I'm so glad you brought that up because that's also such a huge part of my childhood. Is Disney movies. Like I remember coming home. You know what I did? I would like. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I feel like every kid does this though, right? I would come home from school and like, you know, rewind the movie that I had just watched the day before, press play, and I would like know all the words and all of the movements, and I would like act out. So I have like really vivid memories of like Lady and the Tramp 2 specifically, and Lion King 2 specifically coming out, and like me going home and like in our little like den area, like building, like taking the sofa pieces and like building like a fence and like a ramp, because in Lady and the Tramp 2 there's like the junkyard dog song, and they're like in a junkyard, and I would pretend to be like the Doberman, and I'd be like jumping from like trash pile to trash pile, and I would sing all the words, and I was the Doberman. Like
no, you weren't interested in being a dealer at all.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Like, you were like stage manager, stage craft. Like,
I'm like, I got it.
You're
everything you want.
You're like,
and then
you're
somewhere
artistic director.
Exactly. And then somewhere along the line, I told myself that I can't be the Doberman, but I can be the Doberman.
Can.
Anyway, that's also another podcast.
What about the non-Disney cartoon movies? So like when I grew up, that's when like American Tail came out, and Fievel Goes West. Those movies also.
Troll in Central Park.
Yeah.
Pebble and the Penguin. Sorry.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Pebble and the Penguin? Oh my God, it's about a penguin, and he gets his lady a pebble to say to like how do you say this in English? I'm saying it in Spanish in my head, but I'm trying. But like to like engage. He was like asking her to get engaged.
Oh, to get married.
Yeah, and he gives her a pebble, and it's so cute. Sorry, keep going.
That's okay.
Fievel Goes West.
Oliver and Company.
So good. That's also Disney though, right?
No.
That's actually up here. We have it.
Oliver
and Company. Yeah,
no,
Disney.
It's not Disney.
Yeah, it says Disney.
Oh, I know. Are you gonna prove her that I'm arguing?
I know.
Like, I'm sure, but you're like, it's right there.
There's a literal VHS case that says Walt Disney's Oliver and Company. Did you know Billy Joel wrote the music for that?
I did not know that.
Oh,
it sounds
that's
like
why
Billy
it's
Joel.
so good.
Yeah,
that's why it's so good.
And it was like All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Don't even bring up that movie in my presence, Elaine.
I'm so sorry.
Did you not stop? I think I've seen that movie. Yeah, I cannot. I think I probably watched it 3 times before I said, this is painful. Like, what am I doing to myself? Homeward Bound, did you ever see that?
Yeah. That's
why?
So sad.
Why were these?
So sad.
Why?
Why do you really want to rip our hearts
That's
out?
what I'm saying. And I'm like 7, and I'm like, like, I can't. I named my cat Sassy after the cat in Homeward Bound.
Did you?
Yes. She lived till 19 years old.
Ooh.
I know, she's an old lady.
Our family cat lived. He was like 20, 21.
Dang.
I mean, the thing is, my mom wouldn't let him go. He really needed to.
I think that kind of happened with Sassy too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like his quality of life was not present.
Not great.
But it's just amazing that cats live that long.
I know.
It's like
yeah, it's wild. My cat right now is 15. She's about to turn 16 in March, so I'm already like, I'm already preparing. Like, yeah, exactly. She's doing well, but I'm preparing mentally. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm trying to think what other shows and things and movies I watched. Were you a Saturday morning cartoon?
No,
like
never.
Thundercats.
Oh my God.
Or Transformers.
No, you know when I watched it, I didn't watch them on the weekends, but when I would wake up and get ready for school, I would put on TV. And you want to know what was always on? Rainbow Fish.
Rainbow was just a fish.
It was literally a Rainbow Fish. Rainbow Fish and what's it called? Like gargoyles.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's another cartoon similar to like Thundercats, like not same time I don't think, but like same whatever. Mm-hmm. So like all these like and like the Little Mermaid show, like there was like a show. Yeah, there was a show.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it Disney?
I don't know what channel I don't even know what channel. Yeah, because it was like Ariel. It was her like redheaded Disney's Ariel. But like those were the shows that were on, and I would watch them when I would get dressed. But like I never watched anything in the morning. Did you?
I did. That's when like Saturday morning was like Garfield, Snorkels.
Garfield wasn't just a comic?
It was a cartoon.
Oh.
It started out as a comic and then made a cartoon.
Oh wait, I think I know this. Yeah. Like now I'm like picturing.
And like G.I. Joe used to have a cartoon. My brother used to watch it.
Right.
So
I was like, ew.
Little Mermaid. I love Little Mermaid. My Little Ponies.
But before
they went like emo.
Yeah.
like the new My Little Ponies is not the old My Little Ponies.
Care Bears?
Care Bears.
So good.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. And there was also another bear one. I think it was a Disney one. I'm gonna have to look it up and I'll say it later. But there's like
Bears, but I don't think that was a show.
Oh no, Berenstein Bears. But that's another. How many episodes can we plan in one episode? Because I was like, that's another one. Because the Mandela effect with the freaking Berenstain.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't.
I do want to. I get stuck in my words.
I do. Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes. There's also Looney Tunes and all those with all the classical music that was introduced in those cartoons.
Yeah, so true.
Like a big deal for me growing up. Also, what was the Rich Duck?
The Rich Duck
with the 3 nephews.
Oh, Scrooge McDuck. No, not Scrooge.
That was his name, but what's the name of the show?
I don't know. There's a Darkwing Duck.
There's Darkwing Duck. I remember that.
That had a really good theme song.
And then Goofy had his show.
Did he?
Yeah, Goofy had a cartoon, and then they made it to a movie. Then he had
the Goofy movie is.
But it's
it's so good.
I know you said that. But it was a regular cartoon, cartoon. Huh. Or some of those cartoons used to come on after school too. Yeah. They'd come at like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I remember coming after school and watching them. I remember that's when like, I don't know what this popped in my head, but America's Funniest Videos had just started.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With Bob Saget. Yes. And he used to host it, and it had just started.
Yeah. I remember I really liked America's Funniest Home Videos. It was funny, and like my family and I would, I remember like sitting in the family room watching it together. But now, I don't know why this has triggered this. My dad is now obsessed. Like America's Funniest Home Videos, we do not watch anymore. But my dad is obsessed with this show right now called Ridiculousness. Like Rob Dyrdek, who's like I think he's like a skateboarder or something, like made like an America's Funniest Home Videos, but like for today. Yeah. And it's the I don't know what about the show, like it's just not my cup of tea. Yeah. And he watches it anytime he's like watching TV, that's what he's watching. That or airplane disasters. And I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like,
why is this entertaining?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's like the today's America's Funniest Home Videos, and it drives me wild. I don't know why. But did you ever, in the middle of the night, like the only reason I know about like Facts of Life and Growing Pains and everything you were talking about before was not because it was my time, but because those shows came on super late at night for me. Yeah. So like when I was rebelling and like not falling asleep when I should, my parents were kind enough to let me have a TV in my room. So I was watching those shows, The Jeffersons, I Love Lucy, like all those shows. And I loved them. Laverne and Shirley. So
they used to same thing. They had the old shows that used to come on. Same thing. I Love Lucy would come on at late at night.
So good.
But that was my first time, and you jarred a memory for me because I used to be allowed to have a little black and white TV. Ooh. That's back when there were the old little tube TVs. They did come in black and white. They weren't always color. And those of you, there's some that'll know what I'm talking about. We used to have the 2 dials. There was no remote. There was 2 dials, and you used to
get up.
You used to get up, and you used to have VHS or UHF. UHF and VHF. People are going to correct me. I think it's VHS. I'm thinking, anyways.
I was like, that's
VHF and then UHF. And it's 2 bands. And then you just have an antenna on the back of the TV. Okay. You had to have an antenna. So there's no cable. There's no nothing with these TVs.
And that's when you have to like fidget with it.
And you would have to like click. You have to hit the dial. And you would find TV shows. Yeah. And I remember that was my first time I came across Carol Burnett show.
Oh, fun!
And I loved that show. I used to watch it every
It's like a variety show,
night.
Right? Or no?
You've never seen
I've never seen. I know. No, I haven't.
What?
No.
So much.
But I know
like
who she is.
Iconic. Like it was a skit. It was a sketch.
Oh, okay. It was like a Mary Tyler Moore vibe, or no?
No. Okay. Mary Tyler Moore was scripted.
Oh, so this was not scripted.
This is not. Well, I mean, it was scripted. It was sketch comedy.
Okay.
So it was like skits.
Okay.
People in the sketch world would hate that I just use the word. Yeah. Like that's like a cuss word in that industry. But it was almost like an SNL more vibe. Okay. It was just a series of different like skits. But a lot of them were reoccurring. That's where like Mama's Family came out of. There's like a lot of spinoffs that came out of her show.
Okay, fun.
So great comedy, great comedians. Just yeah.
You have a show that you haven't mentioned that's sitting right above your head, I just realized.
Which one?
What do you mean?
With the Parent Trap? Oh,
no.
The Ben Knobs and Broomsticks?
No.
Oh, Elf.
Yes.
Elf. I said Elf. I was just like, what are you talking about?
She has an elf.
I love that show.
That show, I didn't watch much of it because I always thought it was kind of weird.
I mean, it is weird. It's right up there. Like, my dad loved the show Dinosaurs, which again was
oh my god, yes!
The Not the Mama. Yes. He loved that character. I actually have one of those. He's buried in my garage, and I want to try to find it for the show, but I'll have to dig him out. But my dad used to crack up with the Not the Mama. Just that specific, the baby
just
saying Not
line.
The Mama. It's somewhere, it must have been reminiscent of us growing up.
Oh.
That it must have triggered something with him where you must have felt like that as being the father in the home. Like, he was not the mama.
He was not the mama. You know what other show made me laugh out loud? I don't know why all of this, remember that, I think that era. Have you ever seen Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah, again, not my older for me.
Oh my god, but college. You should watch it because that show makes me belly laugh. It is so funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. I freaking love that show.
You made you just think of, because of the character, I can't think of his name. People will know the actor, the dad.
From Third Rock?
No, he was in Third Rock. He wasn't the dad in Third Rock. I don't remember. He was in Third Rock, the older character, but he was the dad in Harry and the Hendersons.
Yes.
And I can't think of his name.
Yes. Yes. Keep talking, and I'm gonna find him.
Yeah. Because my phone is actually our camera.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I forgot to mention this. I'm so glad you brought it up. Elaine and I have written ourselves notes so that we didn't forget, like, to mention, like, a certain TV show or a certain whatever. And she shows up with this piece of paper. And then
show up with a piece of paper.
I have all of mine are in my notes app on my phone, and she's like, "I'm gonna print it."
But Georgie, tell them why I have to print it. Don't just leave it at that and make me sound like an old lady.
I was like, it's no fun that way. But it is true that her phone is what we record our video on. So fine, she has a reason. But doesn't it match her Gen X vibe?
Are you done? What are you looking up? Go look up. I was like, John Metcalf.
John. It is John something.
John.
But wait, which show were you saying? Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons, and he also was on the other movie with the Saint Bernard, the dog. I can't.
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
He was in Beethoven.
I think so.
I do love me some
I could
Beethoven.
be wrong.
That's a
but
good.
I feel my brain is telling me that. And then of course he's on the serial killer show. He was one of the.
Oh my gosh, so good. John Lithgow is his name, by the way.
John Lithgow. Okay,
yeah.
It was close.
Yes, very close. Wait, the recent one? The serial killer one? The Mindhunter?
No.
Oh, I think he was in that too, though.
No, it's a one name. Wow, my brain.
Yeah, no brains today. It is Monday. It is. It's a no. Can we have that? Can we like a no brains day?
That's every day.
Yeah, it's Monday. Well,
Dexter. That's the show.
Oh,
Dexter.
He was in Dexter.
He was in one of the series. He was one of the.
I never watched. Actually, did I watch Dexter? I don't think I ever watched it. I never
ping-ponged around like we jumped from like current to old.
I love it.
It's great.
But I like it.
Perfect Strangers. Did you ever see that show? I love it.
Perfect Strangers.
Balky.
No.
It's their cousins. One's like from an Eastern undisclosed.
Oh
like,
no!
country,
My God.
And he comes to America and he finds his cousin and they live together.
No.
Oh, great, just comedy.
Huh.
Great.
What was that on? It was a movie or a show?
It was a sitcom.
Okay.
Called Perfect Strangers.
On what? Do you know?
Like what channel?
Yeah, what channel?
No.
Channel 7?
We had like 5 growing up.
I don't know.
So, and then we had the push button cable boxes, the ping, 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 something.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, because I'm old. We've already established that, thank you.
Listen.
Some people will know what I'm talking about.
I have Gen Z cousins, and I feel old when I'm with them, so it's not, don't worry. I also feel old. Sometimes. Anyway,
okay.
And Elaine.
What? Oh.
Do you maybe?
What? Do I hear?
Do you hear it? The non-existent train?
I feel a rambling
coming. Do you have one?
I'm gonna come up with one.
She's like, I will, if you give me just a moment.
We interrupt this program to bring you a very important rambling. Stay tuned.
Well, my rambling is I'm going to Scotland on Wednesday.
Oh
my
God.
2 days, because you don't know what time frame. It's going to air much later.
Yeah.
I would have been back many months.
Oh, yeah. At this point, we have no idea when this will air.
Right now, we're just 2 women talking to themselves.
No, I want you to know, not to interrupt randomly, but like as we are recording this, we have yet to release this podcast. So like you'll hear this eventually.
But I'm going to Scotland.
So exciting.
Right, to do some work stuff, right? But I think I'm most excited to just wander around.
Yes. Have you been to Scotland before?
I've been to that, no, but I've been very close. I've been to York, England, in the UK many times for work. A couple of my shows opened in York. Nice. But this is like, I'm literally just only going like an hour and a half north, which goes over the Scotland border. So it's like the same region, but different. But yeah, I've never been to Scotland.
So exciting.
I know. It's like
what kind of tours? You said you had tours and stuff planned. What do you have planned?
I like to go on tours like out into like the country and get on the, like, so I have 2. I have one. Well, I actually have a tour of the castle in Edinburgh, but that's a quick little tour. And then I'm going on
a castle, it's quick and little?
Probably neither of those 2 things.
Right.
It tours like a 3-hour tour of the castle. So I have that. And then I'm going to Rosslyn Chapel, which is known for being very like, it's religious. It's mentioned in a couple books, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a popular tourist site. Yeah. But you go through like all these, like there's another castle you get to see, but you have to see a lot of the countryside. So like, I'm trying to think of the names. The Highlands? I think it's the Highlands, what they refer to it.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. So it's all the rolling green hills and,
so
like
pretty.
the rock structures, natural rock structures and stuff like that. There's a lot of other tours when I started going through tours that I want to go on.
Yeah.
Like the Isle of Man and some other places that I want to go to. But yes, so I just like to go on buses and look out windows at pretty nature.
Yes. Because I feel like in Orlando we don't have super pretty nature.
Nothing.
We have lots of roller coasters.
And then it's just hot.
So, oh my God. It is so hot, Elaine. Yeah. Good Lord.
It is. And then you go outside, you're just like, nope, and you go back inside.
Yeah, literally.
Like, nope,
what's the weather in Scotland for when you go?
It's going to be 70s.
Ah!
70s, 75-ish.
How cruel.
I know, it is supposed to be rainy too, so I've got my cute little polka dot umbrella.
Yes.
And I'm going to be like, and hopefully I find a cute single Scotsman.
Yes! That's what I was going to say. If you find an extra one, I'm not opposed.
Maybe I'll find twins and be like, I got just the girl for you.
Exactly. That's what we're looking for. Like, I'll move to Scotland. Also, not for nothing, but Elaine had to like school me today on that Scotland is like not as far away as I thought. No. I was like, where on the map is Scotland? And she's like, around England. And I was like, where's England?
And I was just like, wow. Okay, well we need to roll that down. Way back.
Listen, I was on academic probation for geography.
Were you really?
Yes, I almost didn't graduate because of it. I'm just not good at memorizing stuff. But Scotland is going to be so excited. I'm so excited for you.
They refer to it as, I think there's an expression where it's just the other side of the pond.
Yeah, like across the pond,
Across the pond, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's really just because it really is.
Oh, that's so true. Duh,
right
Georgie, because it's literally across, like, the one ocean.
What ocean is it?
Wait, I think I know. Because if you told me that it was that way on the map, then I'm going to say it's across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Yes! I did it!
I did enjoy the look of panic on Georgie's.
I was like, oh no, she's outing me on our radio, on our radio. I was gonna say on national television, she's outing me. But I got it right. So
you did. Well, I was like, this point we'll have millions of followers.
Exactly. By the time we release it, who knows? Maybe. Oh my God. All right.
But that's how rambling is.
I love
it. Scotland, go look at stuff.
You'll have to share with us when you get back.
I know.
How it went. Hooray!
That's it.
All right. Elaine, what about, did you have any favorite toys or, like, games that you played when you were younger?
Yes.
What?
I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was the ball with the platform you put your feet. I think it was...
A ball with a platform?
It was like a plastic disc, and it had a ball in the middle. What was it called?
In the middle? Like, and you, like, balanced on it?
And then you put your feet on it, and then
like it looked like Saturn?
A pogo. Yeah, it looked like Saturn. Like
okay.
a pogo. Somebody here has to know the name of it. I can't.
Yeah, I don't even know what the heck you're talking about. I don't know.
And of course, my other thing was Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh, wow. No Brain Mondays, y'all. No Brain Mondays.
Which is also part of this little kitty cat up here as part of that family. But I remember my mom waited in line for like ever at like a JCPenney's to buy.
That is the sweetest thing.
Yeah,
that's so cute.
And my brother liked them too, so my brother got the boy doll and I got the girl doll. So
I was never into dolls much. Like American Girl dolls were really big when I was younger. Yeah. And I was just like not a doll girl. I was like a horse. Like I wanted plastic horses. Yeah.
Were you My Little Ponies?
Oh yeah, My Little Ponies. I'm all for. It was a horse. That's all I needed.
And then I had the Barbie horse.
Oh yes.
Barbie horses. The whole I had that.
Did your Barbie? Okay, I also had a Barbie horse, and it came with a separate piece. Oh my god. A cobblestone, like patio thing almost. Yeah. And it came with a barrel and a hose. And it was all very little, right? Because it was Barbie. And you could put water in the barrel, and then you would push, like the top of the barrel was like a button, and you would just like push it down, and then water would come out of the hose, and you could clean your horse. You could wash your horse. It was so fun. It was so fun.
You can't, those are not the room here. She's legitimately excited.
I was like, if I could play that again, like I would give anything, literally. And also, there was a CD-ROM game, because I played a lot of CD-ROM games when I was, like, that was like a big part of, because it's like up and coming. That's like what was, and there was like a Barbie's riding adventure where you could like pick, like you would go to the stable, pick your horse, you could feed it sugar cubes or an apple, and I would always get the dapple gray horse. And specifically I remember, and then you could name your horse, and then there were like different challenges, and you could like run or trot or what, like, oh my god, literally that game brings me so much joy. I want to play that game again so badly.
Oh, that's awesome.
So bad.
I'm getting a cramp on my side, so if I look weird,
she's cramping.
Apparently I can't twist and talk. Those of you in my age group understand.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I can't look left and talk anymore. Oh well.
That's it. It's done for. You're done for.
So, but that's super cool. Yeah, CD-ROM games were also like.
Did you have?
Yeah, I mean, we had. I remember our first computer was a Commodore 64, and there was just this simple like Pong kind of game.
Okay, yeah.
Like, very basic, like very basic.
Yeah.
You know, kind of stuff was starting to come out, and then you would have games that are actually on tape.
Like a cassette tape?
Yeah, and you would actually put in a thing. It was hooked to the computer, and it was actually
no way.
That. I mean, it wasn't. They couldn't hold very much information, but you could do that. And then they went to then it was floppy disk.
I do remember those.
Right, and then it kind of graduated its way up to CDs.
Did you in your school? Did you have? Sorry, you said like floppy disk, and we're talking about CDs. Did you have like a computer lab? I'm assuming not in your school.
Not until high school, and even then it was sketch. Like it wasn't.
There wasn't much going on. Because I remember
we still had type classes on.
Oh, like typewriters.
Typewriters, yeah. My typing class was on typewriters.
I was gonna say one of the games that I used to like to play because we also had typing class, but it was for a computer, not for a typewriter. And there was a game called Mavis Beacon where you had to like. It was like games where it was like, get the penguin across like all these icebergs, like away from the polar bear that's going to eat it or whatever. Funny. Yeah. And like, you would have to like, it would just give you sentences and words to type. And you just have to like do it as fast as you could. And with every correct word, like the penguin would hop one iceberg or whatever. And it would get further and further away. And if you messed up, it would like fall back or the icebergs would break and it would like, whatever. There's like another one where you're like in a submarine and like a megalodon is going to come kill you. And like, if you got enough wrong, it like comes and like shatters your submarine. And I freaking it was supposed to be like educational and teaching you how to type, right? Like without looking, because that was the whole idea, is that you type without looking. So, and it would tell you at the end what your words per minute were. So I don't know what mine were, but I like to think I'm a fast typer, and I thank Mavis Beacon for that.
That is fascinating. I love that.
I know. It's cool how they like can put games and like education.
Well, yeah.
That's always a fun way to learn. It. Yeah, exactly.
And that's, I mean, a lot of that's used a lot more now in schools than even when you were growing up. I mean, it still was still like new. I mean, I laughed. I was telling, I don't know who I was talking about. Like, I remember in college, like one girl had a computer in her room.
No way.
And the phone was like a universal like pay phone, like one of these, or like a campus phone in the hallway when you talk to people. Like, if you had a phone in your room, we would just like some people were getting it, but you had to pay extra for that.
Wow.
It was like
even in your room, not even cell phone, just like even if you had a corded phone in your room.
I mean, they had them, but it was so like you still just used a whole phone. Yeah, most people, because why would you have a phone in your room?
Right.
Like, you know,
especially if it's more expensive.
Yeah.
When did you get your first cell phone? Do you remember?
I was in college. My mom. I laugh because my mom. We went to the mall, the center kiosk, because that's where, you know, all cell phones go.
Right, naturally.
Especially that phone. But it was an old NEC analog phone, so it was a brick phone.
Okay, yeah.
Because digital phones didn't
exist. Like the big ones. The ones with the
antenna? Not that.
Okay,
it was like the generation after that.
Okay.
They started to be smaller.
It was curious.
It was one of the first ones. I probably still have it, I think. But it was probably like maybe like 10 inches or so. Okay. And it was called NEC was the brand. It cost a fortune, right? A fortune. But my mom was like, I had just started driving, so I was 20 when I got it.
Wow.
I was 20, 21.
That's wild.
And then I was like 20. I started driving later because my dad was a policeman and wouldn't let me get my license until I was 18. But I went to college when I was 17. And then I just had boyfriends and stuff, so like who cared?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, they'll just drive me around.
I'll just like drive around.
Exactly. Passenger princess.
So, that's the name for that.
Yeah, that's like a thing now. Passenger princess.
So it was like that. I was around 20. It was 19, 20. But I laughed because my mom said, I'm going to go get you a cell phone because you need to have a cell phone. She paid for the phone, set up the service, and she was like, no, now you have to pay the bill. I'm like, wait a minute, Mom.
You're like, this is a scam.
Like, I didn't ask for a bill.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
But I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I got mine when I was, when I graduated 8th grade going into high school. It was like my 8th grade graduation present.
Wow.
I know. Which I guess for you probably seems so young, right? But for me, like, all of my friends already, or like so many of the kids in my class already had one, and I didn't. And then even now, kids get them at like, in first grade. Yeah. They have a
I have
cell
students
phone.
That are 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds have phones.
It's crazy. I mean, and I guess like nowadays it does kind of like, in case something happens, you can call them, find them, whatever. But it is pretty crazy how time has changed like that.
Yeah. What kind of phone was it?
It was a silver flip phone. And like it didn't have, it was like when you still had to pay for like text messages by message, and like when you would panic because you accidentally opened the browser and you'd be like, no, because they like charge you by minute, because I remember that would happen to me all the time, and I'd be like, no, like turning, like, you know, flipping the phone, open, close, like turning it off and on, trying to like make sure it didn't, because they charged you so much to browse.
I remember when they didn't have text messaging. I remember when text messaging first came out.
Yeah.
Now you talk about, I started, one of my jobs was I worked for a cell phone company.
Yeah.
So during the flip, when it went from analog to digital, and then when it went digital, that's when text messaging started to come out. Yeah. And then that was when you had to do the QWERTY. Yeah, you didn't have the... No. I used to be able to text so fast. Because I could do it in my head. And I couldn't, like, I just be... You didn't have to think about it, but then you had to, you know... Yep. People don't realize it was quicker.
It felt... I feel like it was quicker when I knew it. And then, like, when I got the actual keyboard, like... I think my first phone that had an actual keyboard was, like, a BlackBerry. Yeah. And I remember, like, that was really hard when I first got it. But then I got so quick at it. Yeah. Like, and then it got weird to have, because the BlackBerry had like the physical keyboard, and then I went to like a Sidekick that also had a physical keyboard, but then eventually like we graduated to iPhones that don't have the physical keyboard, it's just like a screen keyboard, and that was weird for me too. Like I still, you know how they let you take off the like I think they call them haptics, like the things that like make it feel like you can feel when you press the button. I have to leave those on. Because because if not, I don't know if is it working? Like
it's interesting. To me, it annoys the crap out of me.
Really? Yeah. I have to leave it. I don't know.
It's so funny. You know, I got the very first iPhone.
Yeah?
I still have it.
No way.
Yeah. Oh so my ex-husband was a huge like techie, and he had to have it. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll get him. But I remember being fascinated about it being like a browser.
It's a literal computer. Yeah,
I was just like, oh my.
It is.
I will never go back.
Yeah, I know. I remember all of my friends started getting them, and I was like, please, like I wanted one so bad. And I actually didn't end up getting one until I was already living in Orlando. I was on because my dad was a massive Android. My dad was my dad is like an old school tech nerd. You know what I mean? Where he was like,
build your own computer.
Right. Yes. Right. And like Android is better and blah 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 blah. And so like I had Androids my entire life. Androids or like BlackBerry Sidekicks, whatever, just not Apple. Up until probably when I was like 25. And then I finally, so like less than 10 years I've had an iPhone, and it was to have a blue bubble was like, I was like, oh my God, I made it. Like,
that's so funny. That's so funny.
I made it. I did it. So it was very exciting to get my first iPhone. My first iPhone was probably like an iPhone, no, that's not true. Must have been like an iPhone 6 or something. But yeah, those are good times.
It's funny. It's funny how much things change.
I find myself like missing the simplicity of those times sometimes.
I do too. I was thinking about it today. I was unloading some stuff in my garage, and I was like, I remember when things were slower.
Yes.
Like I feel like everything is so fast right now, and I just like. I know it's because I've had a couple days off, and I've just been kind of going through some stuff with my like physical. I've been going through
I've been going through some stuff.
No, I've been like literal physical stuff. Because backstory. I just moved my mom to North Carolina, so I'm like dealing with all like cleaning out a house, all that kind of going through stuff, right? And it just was triggering memories. And I was as I'm going through things, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, and it was that thought again of like, guys, remember when you could stop and breathe. I just felt like, I feel like, you know, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. And I feel too, like, with, like, we talk about the iPhone and, like, how cool it is or whatever, but, like, and not just iPhones, but, like, with that, like, with cell phone technology specifically, I feel like it makes it feel extra nonstop, because there's not, like, a moment of my time, and I know this is my own fault, but there's, like, not a moment of my time that I am not occupying myself. Yeah. Right? Like maybe it felt slower because we didn't have something to occupy our thoughts every second of the day. And I would love to say that I'm not attached to my phone. Yeah. But I feel like I 100% am. You know, like if I want to not touch my phone while I'm watching a movie, I have to like leave it in another room. Yeah. But then the likelihood of me doing that, which just sounds so bad. Like you know what I mean? The likelihood of me doing that is probably pretty slim. Yeah. So, I feel like it's just crazy how it's changed, because I spent so much of my life not occupying my time with, like, you know what I mean? Like with little videos or whatever I'm doing, social media, whatever. And now it's like when I have 10 minutes and I'm just existing, like with nothing, I'm like sitting on a sofa for 10 minutes, not doing anything. It feels like 7 hours. Yeah. It just feels so long.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like,
because it's that juxtaposition, or that, maybe that's not the right word, but it's just the contrast.
Right. Yeah. It's wild. And it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. It sucks to think that I used to not have to fill my time, and now I'm like, why do I have to?
And it's
hard to break.
Everything around you is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So then you become the oddity instead of the norm.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'm like, I'm going to miss something.
Yeah.
Because like things happen so quick too. And it's like, gosh, like sometimes like, you know, you go on a cruise for like, you go on a weekend cruise and you come back and like 800 world events have happened. And you're like, what? I didn't know. Like Taylor Swift dropped a new album and I didn't know. Like, so you can't.
And there's also like, do we need to know? That's the other question. Did we live perfectly fine lives not knowing every little detail about everything in the world?
Yeah.
Why do we have to know?
Yeah, I know.
That's another show too.
Yeah, that's another show. That's another show.
Bring it back to childhood toys, I think is what we're talking about.
Yeah, like
kind of, and stay on the electronic. Who remembers the arcade? I remember.
Oh,
the arcade. I love the good arcade. We spent a lot of hours at the bowling alley arcade.
Oh my god.
Pinball. I mean, that was Pac-Man. That was a thing.
Galaga. Did you play that one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or Galaga. I don't know how to pronounce it. I always said Galaga. I like that game.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And then there was like, you know, Punch It, which was the boxing one.
Yeah. Did you do Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Where he like did the ladders, like the old school. I love that one.
I don't think it's Punch It. I can't remember what it's called.
Punch-Ag?
Punch.
What?
But
Punch
my brothers used to play it all the time, and that was the thing. You used to like stand behind people and watch them play. Like, that was a big thing too, and like who got the top score. But that was a lot of my childhood was in an arcade.
Dang, we had Game Boys. The arcade came to us.
I'm also part of the Game Boy world because high school, my brother got a Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy Color or like the Game Boy, like
old,
just like the old Game Boy Advance, like. No.
I don't know what it's called.
Or not Game Boy. There was another, not Game Boy
The
Advance.
first one.
Yeah.
It was the first one.
Yeah,
It was the first one. That's what we got. It was the first generation.
That's so funny. I have one of those that's like black and white and tiny and silver. I should bring it. It was my uncle's and he gave it to me. And it has Aladdin, but it's like black and white and the graphics are so bad that I can barely, like when I play now, because I'm so used to the resolution and just like the quality of graphics now, like I try to play that game and I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this?
Oh, I mean, you talk about the time. Remember those who had the Nokia phone, Snake? The Snake
yes,
game
okay.
On the Nokia, like that was like the game.
Yes.
Everybody played it.
So good. I never had that phone, but my friend Jessica did, and I remember.
Obsessed.
Yes, I would play the Snake game on her phone. I'd be like, give me your phone and play Snake. It was so good. That was a good, and like, what a simple little game. Yeah. And it was like, yeah. I don't know.
Like,
you got me lit.
Don't run into yourself.
Exactly.
That's pretty much a life lesson.
Yeah, exactly. It was
a
teaching us about life.
Don't run into yourself.
What did you do with like your friends, hobbies, and like your social life and stuff? What did you do when you're? Yeah, actually, that's a good.
Good segue.
Good point.
A couple of things. I had Strawberry Shortcake roller skates. We used to go to the roller rink.
How fun!
There was a big thing going to roller rink. I used to skate in my friend's basement because she had.
She had enough room?
She had a cement basement. I mean, it wasn't a lot of room.
But like you could still roll around.
Yeah, but we would like. She had these poles. You know, there was support beams for the house. But we would like grip the pole and like go around like.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun. That and we used to ride bikes, of course. And in Long Island, growing up too, it would snow. We'd play ice hockey. We're outside. That's what we were forced out of the house.
Yeah.
And we weren't allowed back till the lights came on.
Yeah.
My mom had a cowbell. She used to.
Really? She would ring? How funny.
Yeah. And other neighbors had other things too. Like my other neighbor had like a whistle. And that kind of thing. You knew whose mom it was.
Because, by their, like, retrieval tone.
Yeah.
Like, to retrieve their children.
To calling the cows in.
Yeah, exactly. Soon.
Like, okay, that's my mom.
That's my, gotta go. That's so funny.
But we spent a lot of time outside.
That's good.
But, yeah, and friends, and what else? We talked on the phone a lot, of course. Of course, we didn't have cell phones, so it was the whole strung out, cable across the house. Used to like clothesline my dad.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's perfect. Right here.
We have it on our set. Elaine's actual phone.
It's my actual phone. But yeah, we talked a lot growing up.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought too. We talked a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about you?
I feel like it's so funny because like as a millennial, like, and being that transition, being that generation that was in the transition period from like playing outside to CD-ROM games, because like I did it all. You know what I mean? Like I did play outside. I did ride bike. I didn't do roller skates, but I did have roller blades. So I rollerbladed a lot, and like I remember going to the I don't know, I don't want to call it like a roller rink because that makes it sound like roller blades or roller skates. But it was like it was called Power Wheels, and then we also had another one called Super Wheels, and it was just like they would play like 90s music, and you just like rollerblade in circles, and like, you know, it was a lot. We had so many birthday parties. I had so many birthday parties there. Not me, but like I went to so many birthday parties there. So we did that, and then as I got older, I started to do, like, we would want to go to the mall, you know, and walk around, and then as like when probably like 11, 12, 13, our parents would still come, but they would be kind to us to make us feel cool, and they would walk like way behind, but they were there, you know. But it was so nice, like, even in those moments, just to feel like we were alone, even though we knew we weren't. We're like, we're independent, like, we got this. And like we would have like $10 to spend, or what, you know what I mean, or like $5, but like we'd go to Claire's and buy like, I don't know, some silly little earrings, or I don't know, something silly, or we'd get like our Starbucks or go to the movies, where we'd be like, oh, parent, you can come to pay, and then please 10 feet behind again. Like,
I'm laughing because you know the difference between my generation and generations.
What?
Our parents dropped us off the door
Yeah,
and said,
like,
good luck, we'll be back in 6 hours. Don't die. Don't talk, don't do anything stupid. Don't embarrass me. That was my parents.
People know me here.
Exactly. It's like, I'll know if something happens, you know. But yeah,
it's
so
so crazy,
the stranger danger. Don't talk to anybody. Here's $10.
Yeah. I remember finally when they let us go. Like, I feel it's like when we started. Actually, it was right before we all started driving. I want to say like freshman year of high school, before we had like our official licenses where we could like drive by ourselves. Like, they would drop us off and pick us up. And like there was this one mall specifically. It was an outdoor mall called The Falls, and they had like a movie theater and a Johnny Rockets, and like and so they would drop us off there. But the mall itself had a curfew of like 10:30, 10. It actually might have been 10. That anybody under the age of 18 had to like leave and like get picked up. Like, not because like there were no clubs or anything there.
No, but it's just.
But it was just
like
for
a curfew or whatever.
Exactly. So our parents usually dropped us off there. I think because that curfew like kind of, you know.
Yeah.
So we would like go to the movies. But I remember we would do what we call loser laps, which is just like, there was another outdoor mall called Sunset Place, which was like the pinnacle place like to do loser laps, where you just get dropped off and you don't do anything. You just like walk in circles and like go into all the stores, but don't buy anything because we don't have money. But we're just like, we walk into Barnes and Noble and we do a lap around Barnes and Noble, and like we're just a group of like 7 obnoxious kids thinking that we're so cool, you know, but we're not.
The stores
so
I
bet they did.
So
I bet they did. And 100% we were those obnoxious kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's I always try to remember those days, like when a group of obnoxious kids like that come into my vicinity. I'm always like, Georgie, this was you once, you know? Yeah, exactly. I was like, they're just having fun. Like, it's okay. And I'm just like, get off my lawn. Like,
that's so funny. I get it though.
Right?
I get it.
I know.
I get it. I
know.
Those are good times though. I mean, Orange Julius.
Oh my gosh! But you know, I've never had one of those. I've always wanted to though. Just because I feel like it sounds like a. It's just like you have to. I know, but like Orange Julius, I feel like it's like iconic.
It was.
You know.
It was. That, and then these movies, when we were growing up, it was called the Port Jeff Twin.
Oh.
But that was
that sounds very fancy.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But it's back. Movie theaters were a little bit more like homespun.
Okay.
A little bit in my generation, before they got these big conglomerates like United Artists and whatever. There were these privately owned movie theaters.
Yeah.
They're like mom and pop movie theaters.
Aww,
where they only had
cute.
2 screens.
Yeah.
You know, with 2 theaters, and that's where we used to go see movies, was Port Jeff Twin.
That's
and
cool.
they were more frequent. You don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's just the big theaters.
Now it's the big ones.
But everybody knew you there. It was like the neighborhood movie theater. It was like the neighborhood bowling alley.
Yeah,
it's that mentality of the neighborhood, skating rink. But I remember that's when I saw, I want to say that's where I saw E.T.
What?
That was my first movie.
That was your first movie?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
I hate him.
What?
That is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life.
That's so funny.
I cannot.
Okay, I won't bring it up again. With a Flight of the Navigator. That was another movie I saw. Neverending Story. I saw there. Like that was like my mom again would drop us off and just come pick us up. Me and my friends.
That's so fun though. Didn't it feel like independent? Like, didn't you feel so independent and like cool?
Yeah, because at least then I felt like the helicopter parent was not really a thing in my generation growing up. I don't recall that. Yeah. And there was a lot of like community trust. So like it would be like and all the moms knew each other. So it was almost like if you couldn't.
Yeah, you were always going to be around
somebody was going to see you. Yeah. Or one mom would bring everybody and then another mom would pick everybody up. There was just a lot of trust. Now granted, maybe there was things going on that create this helicopter, the need for that maybe more care, but I just felt like it was definitely the village raising the children. Yeah. At least when I was growing up. It felt like.
Which is fun. I feel like it definitely gave you like, you got to bounce around. I don't know.
I have a question. Did your parents ever like send you across the street for like a cup of milk or a thing of sugar and an egg?
No.
Did we talk about this already?
I don't know. No, we haven't. But I don't think that they ever did. Like
So like that was a thing growing up too as a kid. Like grocery, my mom would be like, oh, go grocery, get the, ask the Jacobs for an egg. I need an egg. Or go to the Jeffersons, they need
So cute, just like the movies.
And it was like that. We go across the street with our measuring cup. Yeah. Like, my mom said we need a cup of sugar. Do you have a cup of sugar? No. Okay, I'm going to go next door. Hey, my mom needs a cup of sugar. We were like, but everybody did it to each other like that. It was like, again, the community, the village. Yeah. That's not existent anymore.
I feel like I do, like, that is definitely something that, like, I would love. Like, when I think about, I don't own a house yet, but when I think about buying a house, I would love to have a community. Like, it doesn't need to be, like, where we're, like, all together all the time, but just, like, a community where, like, I know my neighbors and that I know them well enough to, if I did need something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to run to the store, but, like, I really just need a cup of milk. You know what I mean? Like, for this recipe, like, to think. But it's also crazy how, like, I don't even think to do that because also my neighbor looks, even now, like in my apartment complex, my neighbor looks at me and I'm like, don't look at, like, I like run past them. I'm like, I don't want to. So I say, I'm literally sitting here being like, I wish I knew my neighbors, but at the same time, I'm literally running away. Like when I see them.
Funny. You're like, I don't need an egg.
Yeah, exactly. Don't look at me.
I'm going to go. Well, funny. Georgie, I think I hear another rambling coming.
A rambling coming?
I believe it's your turn.
Okay. I just have something exciting that happened to me. So this is not the exciting thing, but it is exciting. The first part, my cousin and his wife are having a baby. Oh. Yeah, very exciting, and it's the first like grandkid for our for our family. It's a big deal. Yeah, so it's a huge deal. Yeah. And I'm super excited to meet her, and obviously I love my cousin and his wife very much. But they really came in clutch, and they threw their baby shower. And you want to know, this is something that I had never heard. I won a pair of AirPods at this baby shower.
What?
Yes!
You have to back up. You have to explain come in clutch. What does that mean? Like expensive?
Well, I have been wanting AirPods. I have been wanting AirPods for a while now. Mm-hmm. And I kept putting them like in my cart and then like removing them, being like, I don't need to spend that money right now. I have headphones at work. Like, we're fine. Yeah. And whatever. So like they just like really like they just came in clutch. I don't know. Like,
what does that turn mean?
I mean, the thing is that, so normally it means, it's like a basketball turn from what I I think it's like they, in the last second, they like really, you know what I mean? Okay, like they did it.
I got it.
So, and I also don't know if it originates from basketball, but that's like where I had heard it before, or first.
I thought somebody like threw you a clutch bag. Like
a little clutch purse.
Yeah, exactly. Clutch. Is it Calvin Klein?
And the AirPods were in it.
It's like the best ever.
No, so their diaper raffle, that's what it was. You literally just brought a thing, like, I feel like that's pretty standard now across the board for baby showers, is a diaper raffle where, like, everybody brings a pack of diapers, and then if you brought a pack of diapers, you can put your name on, like, one of the raffle cards, and you put it in a bucket, and then they draw one of them for whatever the prize is. So, I've been before where I won like a $25 gift card to Amazon, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just like something to encourage people to bring diapers so that you don't have to buy 800 million diapers. But that's usually what I've won, like a candle, a $25 gift card. Like, I mean, sweet gifts, but like, it's a bit, I don't expect, I mean, it is not normal to win a pair of AirPods at a baby shower. And,
because they pretty much just spent money.
But they would have spent on diapers. They just spent.
So what did they gain?
Exactly. Which, if anything, at least I would hope that they saved a little bit of money. You know what I mean? That they got more, like that the value of all the diapers was more than what the AirPods cost. But even if they didn't, I would at least hope that they broke even, you know, with how many diapers they got. I don't know, because I didn't really look at, I was just focused on the AirPods. And
is it the third generation? Is it the newest ones? Or was it first generation? So it was a long stick or short
is there,
stick?
I think it's no, it's a long stick.
Okay, so it's first generation. That's nice.
What's it called? But it's a second generation.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know. Is there a third generation already? Yeah. But yeah, no, there was second gen, and Apple nerd.
I just bought them.
Oh, did you?
I just bought them. Yeah, so
I love it.
Which I thought was weird because then they're just like the AirPod Pros.
Sorry, that's what they are. They're AirPod Pros second generation. That's what I got. Yeah. Yeah, so they're like noise canceling and everything. Coin. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, what's it called? So, whatever. I took the diapers, and you want to know the best part of it all? I didn't even buy my own damn diapers. My mom bought them for me. My mom was like, I'm going to the store. Do you want me to pick up the diapers for the diaper raffle? I'm like, yes, please. And then the other best part was that I didn't even technically win them. I've been lying to you this whole time. My brother won them. Oh. My brother won 3 games at this baby shower. My cousin-in-law, she loves games. So we played like 10 games at this baby shower, which I loved because I also love games. Yeah, exactly. Like, she is
sitting there talking about how about what's last time you had a baby crunch on the carrot that you did on the ranch.
Exactly. We played like 10 games. It was so fun. Yeah. But my brother won 3 of them, and the raffle was the last thing that like they did. And when she pulled out his name, she was like, "No way!" She was like, "There's no way!" And she said his name, and then he comes back and he was like, "I don't like things that go in my ears, like headphones that go in my ears or whatever." And I was like, I like things that go in my ears. And he was so nice. Like, he literally didn't even blink twice. He just gave them to me. That's so cool. And I was like, he could have sold them. He could have, like, I don't know, saved them and given them as a good gift to somebody. I don't know. But he, literally didn't even blink, and he gave them to me. So I guess I technically didn't win them, but I did acquire a pair of AirPod Pros.
But you did win, like, the best brother ever.
Exactly. I do have them. Okay, also, speaking of nostalgia and going back, like, your siblings, you're the oldest? Youngest. Okay, I'm the oldest. I mean, there's only 2 of us, me and my brother. But
there's a herd of us.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's 5, right? Yeah, dang. And you're the youngest. You said. Okay, and it's all brothers.
4 brothers. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's just me and my brother, and I have such vivid memories of kicking him out of my, like, yelling and screaming and kicking, because also we're 7 years apart. So like I was like 14, 15, like in my like. Yeah. I'm independent and I'm trying to be cool and whatever, like discovering myself phase. So I have my friends in my room with me, and then there's like a 6 or 7 year old coming into my room, like, hey.
Not cool.
Right. And I'm like, that's so not cool. Get out of my room. Blah, blah, blah. And I remember like yelling at him, like, so I was so mean to him. And I have like no bigger regret in my life. I mean, it's fine because we have a great relationship now. Like, we're super good friends. Like, he's somebody that I would legitimately be friends with, even if he wasn't my brother. Because we have a lot of common interests and stuff like that. But now he's seriously like my favorite. Like, whenever anybody asks me like, who's your favorite person, which I guess that's not a question that comes up often, but I offer the information often. Where like, my brother is like my favorite person in the whole world. I'm obsessed with my brother. I think he's so cool. And I regret all the time being such a like hormonal teenager, and because now God, like, he's so like, he has so many friends and has such like a busy social schedule that like it's hard to get penciled in. Like, I can't even, like, I call him and he's like, I'm at my friend's house, or I'm golfing, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, and I'm like, I just want to talk to my brother.
Inside he's going to remember all the times you keep
100%. 100%.
Paybacks.
Exactly. Did you have that, like, with your siblings?
We fought. I mean, being the youngest, I have the best relationships with my 2, the youngest of my brothers. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, growing up, I mean, me and the youngest of my brothers, we were close growing up, especially older years. Once we moved from New York to Florida, and all we had was each other, I think that made us closer because we were creating new friend groups. And then in school, we're only 2 years apart. So like, he was a junior, I was a freshman. And we had mutual friend groups with youth group, with church and stuff like that. So we were closer then. Yeah. Growing younger years though, like when we were still in Long Island, we fought like cats and dogs.
Really?
Oh.
I also feel like even like when you're so close in age, it's like I don't know, like when you're so close, it makes it hard, right? Because you guys are going through similar things at like almost the same time. Mm-hmm. So it's like lots of hormones.
A lot. A lot. So, and I'm gonna say, since to make all them mad, I'm also like the smartest one of the bunch. So, I was not manipulative at all growing up. Never.
She's throwing her hands up like, I don't know.
Form your own opinions. I'm
getting a Dennis the Menace vibe over here. Like,
I'm totally
an intellectual, like...
When this releases, I'm fully expecting a text messages from my brothers. Like, excuse me.
Yeah. I love that so much. That's so funny. My brother's the smartest one, so I definitely can't relate.
You totally like give up the torch.
I
like,
don't.
nope,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna fight. And he knows it. I know he's an engineer right now, so like I'm not like. And I'm like, I type on the computer in my pajamas, like. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not like that. She's pretending like I'm only typing with one, but I played Mavis Beacon, and I got the penguin off of the iceberg, so I didn't get eaten by a polar bear. So I'm a very good typer. Thank you very much. I type with all 10 fingers.
School works.
Exactly. Elaine, shall we wrap it up? Shall I ask you a final question?
Sure.
It's a very lighthearted question, this one. It's not like one of those deep.
I think that's good, though.
Yeah, exactly. I think Elaine and I really, like, emptied our souls the last 2 episodes. So, like, we were like, we need to do something fun. Yeah, exactly. And we still have more.
Yes. That is correct.
But who was, like, your childhood crush? Like, your, when you think of...
I was seriously a New Kids fan.
Yeah.
So Joey from New Kids.
Joey from New Kids. Did you have, like, any posters?
Oh, totally. I had the big fan buttons.
Yeah,
big buttons. Yeah, buttons.
Like a pin?
Yeah, like the pin button. Like the circle. The ones you
put, like, on your backpack or on your...
backpack.
Okay, yeah.
So that was really big, was to have all these New Kids on the block buttons. You would go and you would trade buttons and stuff like that.
You don't still have it, do you?
I probably do still have it.
Elaine, you gotta find this stuff.
It's all in that garage. Oh,
we gotta go. We gotta go to the garage.
It's like, my garage is so packed that it's like, my car looks like it's splitting the Red Sea. It's like, awesome. And I like carefully drive my car every night.
Oh my God. Nah, it's like Jenga. You're just
it's like hope nothing falls on the car tonight.
Yeah.
No. But I did, I had the t-shirt, I had the wall poster.
Nice.
I had the poster of just Joey.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Super.
Did you have, like, the bed sheets? I have a friend that had New Kids bed sheets.
I did not have the bed sheets.
No.
I think my parents drew the line.
They're like, that's too, they're like, that's too far. You cannot sleep with him. Yeah. Like, you can only...
And all the boys showed 90210 on the TV show 90210.
Oh, I've never seen that.
All like,
You're like, all for me, all for me.
That was teenage Elaine going, oh. Oh.
I love that. I think for mine, we had, I don't know if you've heard of Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't think he was
from the
he's like from a bunch
Tool,
of different movies.
Or from was he on the Tool show?
Oh yes. From Tool Time.
Tool Time.
Or whatever. That's not the name of the show. It's called Home Improvement.
And
the show on Home Improvement was called Tool Time. But yes. So he was not like a major crush of mine, but he was definitely like one of the first like times where I remember being like, oh, I like him, and I feel like he was like that for like a lot of girls in my age, like in my generation. So definitely him, but who I definitely was like obsessed with, and this is a really embarrassing story, was like at the age of like, I don't know, 11, 12, right? Orlando Bloom.
Oh, really?
I had this is not a joke. This is not fiction. Like, this is real life. I had, well, first of all, I had a life-size cutout of Legolas in my room. Like, once Lord of the Rings came out, I had a life-size cutout of that. That terrified me every night when I would wake up and turn around. I'd be like, oh my God. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's just Legolas. We're good. And then I also had a binder, a massive binder, where I would print. Do you know how much ink and paper I spent? I would print hundreds of photos of Orlando Bloom. Like, I would go, I guess on Google, I don't know, and I would type in like Orlando Bloom photos, and then I would just print out all of my favorite. And when I say hundreds, Elaine, I mean that this was a thick binder. Okay.
You still have it?
No, I don't know where it went. I probably threw it away. But it was, I had dividers, and it was meticulously organized. Orlando Bloom with long hair, Orlando Bloom with short hair, Orlando Bloom with a mustache, Orlando Bloom as Legolas, Orlando Bloom as Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, Orlando Bloom as this obscure character from some indie movie that I can't remember right now. Yeah. Orlando Bloom wearing a pair of cargo shorts. Like, literally, like, it was so meticulously organized, and I hid it. Me and my other friend, I won't name her so that she doesn't have to, I don't have to out her if she doesn't want to, be outed. But me and another friend had these binders. Like, she had her own and I had mine. I don't even remember how she organized hers. And we would take them to school every day and just like look at them together.
That's hilarious.
And we wouldn't let any of our friends know. Like, it was like a secret club, and we had like probably 2 or 3 friends that didn't know what was in the binder, and it would kill them. They were so mad that they never knew what was in the binder. And we would like guard the binders with our lives. Like nobody would ever find out what was in these binders. And then one day, somebody, I don't remember who, I don't remember how, but I just remember somebody got a hold of one of the binders. We just let our guard down, I guess, and they found out what was in it. And I was devastated. And then I don't really know what I did with the binder. I also started an Ashton Kutcher binder.
Really?
Yeah, but it only probably had like 20 photos before. I think that's around the time, like, I was starting my Ashton one, and then my Orlando Bloom one got found out, and I was like, well, what's the point then?
I was about to say, it lost its charm because it wasn't this secret thing.
Exclusive anymore.
Well, at least you're a very organized stalker.
Very organized stalker. So, but it's so funny because like at the time I was like, I knew like everything about him.
That's so funny.
And then I graduated and I was like, well, actually I can't know everything about the celebrities that I'm in love with, because then when I meet them and we like, they can't be like, yeah, my birthday's on January 5th. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. Like, oh yeah, I love the color purple and I like to eat butter chicken. Yeah, I know. Like, I can't know these things, you know? Like, I want to learn them organically when I meet these people.
It's true, because then it's like, or you just fake it.
Yeah, I could fake it, but
what? You
I know.
What?
But I'll have that one asshole friend who will rat me out. And Bobby, I know you're listening, and it would be you. It would be you.
Wow.
Bobby doesn't let me live anything down. Anything. One time I told him I had a dream that I got abducted by aliens, and he's, to this day, will not let me live. He's like, remember when you said you got abducted by aliens? Except I haven't checked in with him since all of this has, emerged. And, Bobby, how do you feel now? Because maybe I did, because we literally have gotten confirmation that they're real. So, joke's on you. Anyway. Sorry, that should have been my rambling.
End of this show is brought to you by bitterness and old memories.
Oh my gosh. Well,
on that note,
thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Sincerelythepodcast. You can follow us more. We have more fun content for you there outside of the podcast. And if you just can't get enough of us, check us out on Patreon. We are at Sincerelythepodcast there too. And please, please, please subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you are listening to it. And leave us comments. Let us know, what do you want to hear from us? Or just chit chat with us about the show. Like, who was your favorite childhood crush?
Yeah.
What was your favorite song? What was your favorite TV show? We want to know. We want to know.
We do want to know.
Exactly.
Because you would trigger memories. Because we'd be like, I remember.
Yes. So we want to have these conversations with you because we love you guys. Right now we're speaking to nobody because
we haven't launched.
Yeah, we haven't launched. So like I say you guys, but I don't even know who you guys are. So anyhow.
We're putting things into the air.
We're manifesting. Oh God. Anyway, until next week for you, but probably like a month from now for us. See you then. Bye.